Good evening. Uh, it's been a fun ride. It's been quite the adventure. Um, I'm here to tell you this is our final episode of 2025 Awful Rankings. I know. Try not to shed a tear. I
Oh,
know I'm
thank
fighting
God.
them back, but we're gonna wrap
It's
this
been a
thing
long
up.
couple of months.
It has it's been an arduous road. I can't believe that he's been named starting quarterback already. That's really going to shake these rankings up. But boy, here we go. Uh, we are down to the final couple of teams. Here are the combined rankings again for your pleasure, and they are ribbed. But let's skip along to I don't know whose team we're looking at. I think we're looking at. Oh my God, it's my team! Wow, great. Um, let's see. Ryan had me ranked third. I ranked myself third. I really had to fight back that one. Carl, the hater, had me ranked fourth. But truly, the
I
real
have to
haters
say, I
here,
really like, I really like Fantasy Pros ranking here for you.
the real haters of
I
Fantasy
really do too.
Pros. God,
I
that's
really like that. I
that's
think they're
insane.
onto something. I think we're all wrong, and that's going to be closer to what it is.
I think they're on something. But Carl, since you are the true hater, you've got
Ben,
me.
move that thing just a little bit more to the side. I want to finish looking at what they got there for your positions there because I'm getting a kick out of this. They hate your defense. They
Yep.
really hate your
See,
defense.
and I've said this before. I really don't think that Fantasy Pros does much for IDP grading because
I
yeah,
don't think
just
they do either.
that's wild.
No.
But anyway, Carl, I'm going to kick it over to you. Tell me why I'm lower than I think I am.
Well, I mean, Fantasy Pros has you right where you actually belong, but I mean, I will say they kind of nailed sort of what my problem was with your team, and it's that I don't you don't have enough going on defense, right? I think you you got a pair of corners that is a really nice looking pair of corners, um, which gives you a decent set of DBs. You got a good looking set of linebackers. You got an all right defensive line, and but you got no depth there. We've got no. We're really banking on those guys to all stay healthy and be good, and that's a risky move to me, especially when there's more than a little projection to be seen there. Travis Hunter. Um, but I will say, I mean, name drop there and everything. Travis Hunter's an exciting one. Like, I'm really interested to see what that guy does, see how that one actually plays out. I thought real hard about grabbing that second pick so I could go get him myself and decided against it. And it's going to be interesting to see how he plays out this year and going forward. So, but the lack of depth on defense hurts you, in my opinion. Um, Looking at the offense, I love your quarterbacks. Um, big fan of Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams gives you a nice, like, I don't know that you necessarily need a backup, but I kind of like that you have one in this case. In case I feel like there's a chance Daniels regresses and Williams takes a step forward, and
Yep.
you might actually swap them by the time the season gets going. Like, I like that. Wide receivers, I like your top two, Nakua and London. Like, think you got two real good starters there. You got some nice potential behind them, some depth. Like what you did there. Running backs, I'm a little bit. Let's be honest, I'm a little lower on them than you are. We talked about it earlier. Um, is Cooks going to play or is he going to hold out? Huge question mark with your best running back. Um, can Irving do what he did as a rookie? Maybe, maybe not. Hard to say. Caleb Johnson is competing with Jalen Warren. Does that matter? Brian Robinson has never been like all by himself as the number one. He's always been fighting for a role. Like, I just there's some question marks in your running backs, though. There's also a ton of talent and a ton of potential. So, like, the offense in general looks really good. Defense is solid but shallow, and so that's kind of where how I ended up putting you at fourth instead of any higher. I do think that Fantasy Pros is a little out of their minds putting you at ninth there, but I get a kick out of it.
I also really like that ranking that Fantasy Pros has, as I already mentioned. But so the one thing that I am gonna just want to mention that Carl didn't is when I did my rankings, I actually statted out Hunter as a wide receiver and a corner because he's going to be getting points for both. And when you look at his roster, you see him there only listed as a DB, but I have him listed in my rankings as also as a wide receiver because he's going to be getting clear points. I think from both sides of the ball. So that's kind of how I have him a little higher than maybe where Carl has him. Is he's getting those points where nobody else is getting extra points at that one position for also playing another position. But the same things, a lot of what Carl said is wide receivers, top two are really good. His running back group looks solid. And his defense is a little thin, but still overall has a really good defensive to get him started for the start of the season.
Yeah, I don't want to harp too much on my own farts, but
Okay, so let's go on to the next team.
no, I've already, look, I know I need another linebacker. Like that's one thing that just looking at my squad, I've got sights on. So I've already got my flags set. I'm ready to go on that front. Just kind of waiting to see how a couple things shake out. Um, Something that if other folks aren't doing it, just note to the wise: go out and mark players that you want and be ready to make the moves because you got to address depth. And so yeah, I've got slots on my roster that I already know. Well, I'm cutting this guy. I'll cut this guy. I know the moves that I want to make. I'm just trying to play it cool, waiting and seeing what happens. So, uh, yeah, you guys got it. You know where I'm at. All right. Um,
I was an excellent 30 seconds from not saying anything.
yeah, right. I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking up. Come on, get out of town. Let's take a look at Dylan's team, which somehow.
The sole consensus pick in the entire thing.
Yeah, I have no idea how we managed to all settle on Dylan's team as number one. And of course, Fantasy Pros doing their damnedest to make us all look silly. They have Dylan ranked at 4. But uh, let's rhapsodize about Dylan's team real quick here. Looking down the list, we got Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he's going to be a favorite to finish as QB1 or QB2 again. So, no notes. Looks pretty good. Running backs, Connor, Genty, Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. The running back group is maybe a little bit thin. I think that's pretty safe to say. Connor is almost a guarantee to miss a few games. Pacheco kind of remains to be seen if he's actually going to pull out that starting job or not. Seems to be constant intrigue regarding his health and standing in that backfield. But obviously, if it hits, it's going to be big business for him. The wide receiver group, I really liked. I think I have Dylan's wide receiver group as number one out of all the teams, honestly. Collins and McConkey, Tyreek Hill, Cortland Sutton, those guys are all pretty proven, at this point. Even McConkey only after his first year looks like the real deal. So that's 4 deep guys who, I think Sutton finished as wide receiver 13. McConkey probably finished as like wide receiver 16 or 17, something like that. So, yeah, a couple of rookies sitting on the back burner that might earn some pretty valuable snaps in their offenses. Yeah, that's really good. Laporta had a down year last year, but should finish as tight end 5, tight end 6 on the year, something like that. Yeah, it looks really good there. The defense, I didn't really even have anything negative to say there. I guess the one, there's a looming contract thing with Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. Uh, I think that they made some moves like cutting Jermaine Pratt to probably free up some space to try and get a deal done for him. If that's the case, I mean, it's a guy coming off a 17 and a half, 18 sack season that should be, paid and happy. So that looks really good. Um, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to pick any sort of holes out on this team, outside of, like I said, maybe a slightly thin running back group. So, what do you guys
Yeah,
have to say?
and I agree with you completely. Because the only thing that I would say is he's really banking on Genty being everything that all the pundits have said he was going to be going into the draft and here coming into the season. If that doesn't hit like everybody thinks it will, he could really be hurting. So that would be my only downfall for what I see for him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. I'm I'm high on Genty. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be just fine. Was a big fan of that pick, even if it was probably the most obvious pick in the draft.
Yep.
Thought it was a good one. Like Ben said, love the wide receivers. A lot of proven talent. Some high end potential in the back side of that. My main criticism here would be a fairly minor thing on just construction of the team, right? I think we got an extra defensive back and an extra defensive line that maybe should have been a couple extra running backs. Like just shift a few of the backups around just to get a few more cracks at a running back there.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, like I can't really be all that critical. Like, so I went through and I ranked each position where I thought they fell relative to the rest of the league. There's 9 positions in our league now. I had 7 of his positions ranked in the top 3. I had him at the number 1 defensive tackle, linebacker, and defensive back. He had 3 number 1 positions. I think he's got a really damn good looking team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fantasy football. He's going to have to do some things to keep it moving, but I think there's a reason we all put him at number 1.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know, guys. Where do we go from here? We've kind of run down the list. Any closing thoughts? Any?
Well, we're
August.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're sitting here in August, about to start, so things are gonna really. We're gonna know where things fall here really soon.
Yeah, that injury situation was really unfortunate, though. So hopefully that's a speedy recovery.
That's tough for the owner of that player.
Poor Joe.
Yeah, I think we do have a couple of teams that really truly are like, wheeling and dealing a player away from becoming a serious contender here. Whether that be like Brian and or Mike moving a wide receiver for a running back, or however you want to look at it. I think we have a few teams that, if they could make the right, even singular move, would really propel them into a really interesting spot in this league. So
Yeah, we were the three of us were just talking about how in our own personal rankings, the middle of the pack is really close. So it's really going to be anybody's season.
I mean, we're starting pretty close together. It depends on what you do during the season. Yep. I mean, we say it every year. Mm-hmm. You got to make the moves. Look for trade opportunities. Got to work the waivers. Like, it's
you don't win the league at the draft.
No, And you know what? You don't even necessarily lose it.
No.
Like I don't think any of these teams are so bad that they don't have a chance.
No, no, I really don't.
No.
You know. So there's opportunity, there's room for everyone to compete. Just you got to make the right moves, which I mean, easier said than done, but here we are.
No, it's true though. I mean, every year there is a Puka Nakua. Every year there is a Jaden Daniels. These guys
Yeah,
are sitting on the waiver wires right now, and we won't know it until maybe week 5, week 6. But uh, you just have to be ready to click the button and spend a little bit of that fab. Next thing you know, you're cooking.
man, I'll never forget the year in the other league where I had Elvin Kamara coming out of the draft, and I dropped him in like week 2 in his rookie year, and then he fucking went off in like week 4, and he's been Elvin Kamara ever
Yeah.
since. Like there's going to be opportunities for that sort of thing.
Yep.
Like whether it's because someone dropped a guy too soon and they shouldn't have, or you're just the first one to have a chance to grab a guy. Like those players are on the waivers in the first month of the season. There's always at least one guy like that.
Well, and everybody's going to have those situations where they're going to have to make a hard decision where, okay, do I keep this guy or do I drop him because I need to make these other moves to keep my season going? So, I mean, that makes a really good point that we should be watching who people are dropping more so than
Right.
just watching who is coming up.
Yeah, because someone might drop someone that would make a big difference on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
All right, gang.
yeah, gotta work the waivers.
It's true. Well, hey, great work on these. It's been a lot of fun chit-chatting and chopping it up. So now, things kick off next week. So here we go.
Have a good season, everybody.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.